Hi there, this is Jay Johnson, windowpurchase.com. Welcome back to my website. If you're a new viewer to my website, hopefully you find my videos helpful. I spend a lot of time putting these together. And a little background on me is I've published 3 books on Windows since 2008, but I've been in the industry since 2001. So again, I'm constantly putting together informational stuff to try to help clients navigate the sea of windows and doors. Anyway, your video today has to do with 2 things. Passive design homes, and I'm going to roll that also into solar tuning. So here's what it is, and you're going to get a different version from a lot of people. I'm just going to give you my version, and then you can do what you want to with it. First of all, back in around 2008, I did an architectural seminar on campus at a college, and it had to do with passive design homes. Now there's 6 different pieces of criteria a home has to meet to be considered a passive design home. I'm not going to get into all of it, but I specifically want to go through air exchange and conductance. And basically, conduction, just for conversation's sake, this iPad in front of me, let's say this was a pot of boiling water. If I put my hands close to it but don't touch it, that is radiation. That is heat transfer between materials that are physically separated. If I put my hand over the boiling water, I'm feeling convection, the transfer of heat through the circulation of heated particles of gas or liquid. But if I touch the pot without oven mitts on, that's conduction, and that's heat passing through materials that are physically touching. So most houses, when they're built with a number of materials where if it's hot outside, that material, when it warms up, transfers the heat through the wall and comes inside. That would not be considered a passive design home. So you have to use different materials that have a much low conductance rate, so it's not transferring heat in the summer or heat out in the winter. And that goes back to another one of my videos, Laws of Physics 101. Heat moves to cold. Heat always moves to cold. It's not the other way around. So for instance, if you build a brick house and you put a steel I-beam above the windows and doors, well, it's for strength, but that steel, when it heats up, transfers the heat back and forth. So you may have to do something different with a different material, or use some sort of thermal break between possibly the brick and the steel lintel, or the steel lintel and the wall. However they do it, I don't know how they all do it. I'm not a construction guru, but I know what's supposed to be done, and I understand the principles behind of slowing or trying to completely stop heat transfer. That leads us into air exchange. One of the other videos I did was on air leakage. All windows leak air. I don't care how good they are. If it's a picture window that doesn't open, it's got no crank, it doesn't go up or down, it doesn't tilt in or out, those shouldn't leak air if they're properly installed. So what I'm saying is homes are not built to be airtight. Okay? If you have a chimney, I'll tell you right now, because I used to clean chimneys a long time ago, that's nothing but a vacuum. That's sucking all the heat out of your house. And when you have a fire going, I know it's nice and pretty and cozy, but yeah, that's nothing but that just sucks the heat out. So if you got a fireplace. So with passive design home, and I don't know what the unit's called, that doesn't matter either, but you are in a way building the house to be much more airtight, but that doesn't mean it's so airtight that you're not getting air exchange. There's a piece of equipment that you have a setting on it, and then every so many minutes, or maybe once an hour, maybe twice a day, whatever it is, it kicks on and it takes all the old stagnant air out of the house and it brings new fresh air in. Somehow it has an air exchange, so you don't collapse under your own carbon dioxide that you're breathing out. So when you're doing a house like that, the high performance products really kick into gear, because now you are trying to make something as airtight as possible, even though you're still going to get some breathability, you're still going to get some air infiltration even on a passive design home. But one of the biggest things about the passive design homes is trying to use materials that would run through the wall or some material like a window or door that you would put within the wall that are ridiculously low conductance for heat transfer. So when you turn the heat on in the winter, it's not going out very fast, and when it's hot and humid outside, it's not coming in too fast, making you run your heater or your air conditioner all the time. Anyway, I hope this helps. This was on passive design homes to a degree, and solar tuning. And one other thing I'll add on solar tuning. If you have a house built and it is, let's say, 2x4 walls, or 2x6, or 2x8, whatever, you're probably going to keep the same wall system around the whole house. You're not going to go 2x4 over here and then 2x6 over here because it gets more sun. People get too overly creative sometimes with solar tuning, and this is very big. This varies big time depending on what part of the country you live in and how often the sun's out, like Arizona versus the Midwest or New York or something. But if you're going to do a glass package in one area of the house, there's nothing wrong with doing the same glass package in the other area of the house. Don't dumb it down because it faces another side of the house. You know, if you want to use triple pane on a side just for noise efficiency, but not so much for energy efficiency, well, that's fine. Then do triple pane the side that faces all the noise. But keep in mind, if you had done triple pane all around, each room where the heater kicks on or the air conditioning would have been more energy efficient. Stuff like that. If you watch my video on turtle glass, you have to do turtle glass in any house that faces the ocean because of the light reflectance. But you can watch that video if you're lucky enough to live in one of those houses. Anyway, my name's Jay Johnson, windowpurchase.com. Thank you so much for listening, and please subscribe to my channel if you found my videos helpful.